Hey everyone, welcome to the Bitcoin video today. It is the 6th of May 2020. It's about 1 o'clock, 1:15 in the afternoon. And what I want to do is I want to take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at some of the recent price action here. And of course, before I get into this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. And let's go ahead and take a look at things here. All right, so taking a look at what we've got, it looks like we're getting close to topping out. I did sell a bit of Bitcoin here at about 92.61, 92.64, somewhere right around where we're at right now. Now the algo does not have a solid sell on here, but what I'm seeing here is we're seeing ourselves kind of fighting a little bit. And actually, let me just go ahead and kind of illustrate the little range that I think that we're in right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top up here, okay, move it straight across, right? Try and get this as close as I can to perfect. So it's pretty close. And then I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom. Okay, so we've got this down here. We've got our median right here. And let me just go ahead and throw in our halfway points. So we've got our 0.25, which is going to be right here at halfway. And then we've got our 0.75, which is going to be right down here at halfway. Okay, so we do like to talk a lot about horizontals, and I think this is a perfect case for that. We're going to take the swing high up here, create the swing low down here, then we have a little bit of a range. Okay, so right now we're trading in the upper quadrant of this range, right? We obviously have a lot of price action in the middle half of it. You can see we've got our median right here. If I threw my volume profile on here, let's see if I've got it right here. Let's see where our point of control is. Our point of control is going to be right down here, about 88.43. The middle of the range is going to be right here, 89.48, 89.50. So somewhere between 88.50 and 89.50 is going to be a significant amount of support. Currently, that's going to have to be what we break down below. If we can get back down here and break down below 89, test this here, and then we're going to see a move back up here to the top of this range. If we break above the top of this range, and I think that the chances are probably pretty high that we do this, even though I just sold, right? I think the chances are decent, right? And let's just take a look and see. I'm going to have a negative. Let's see here, negative 0.25, negative 0.25. So that's going to be right up here. And then let's put the negative 0.5 on this as well. Negative 0.5. We're going to pull this. And this is going to be basically just for a range expansion. We're going to take a look and see where this is going to be potentially taking us. So we've got our range expansion right up here right at 10,000, right? So if we are going to be going a little bit higher, even though I think this is the completion of this, if we're going to do an expanded flat, right? So if this is going to be an A, and then we're going to do the B, an expansion to the upside, and then we finally go down from there. It's very possible that we do go up here to 10,000. It looks like the range expansion is going to be about 10,020. Very possible that this happens. I'm not going to try and catch a move from 9,250 to 10,000, right? I sold most of what I have. I do have some of my alts that I'm keeping, but from a Bitcoin perspective, I've gone ahead and sold up here, right? What I can see on the waves, right? We talk about the waves. We've got the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and the 12 hour all pretty well up here. The 12 hour isn't quite as high, which is why I think that we can see move to the upside. If I zoom in on this a little bit, you can see the 12 hour is actually trending up. The 12 hour is not up here. The 3 hour is just getting ready to start crossing down, right? The 1 hour obviously already has, but the 3 hour looks like it's wanting to cross down. So as this price does move down, the 12 hour could still continue to kind of move its way up here. But this is, for me, a good place to just go ahead and sell the Bitcoin that I have, right? And so, right here, we're fighting a little bit. Again, I'm going to be looking to scalp this down here at about 9,050, right? I think a buy around 9,000 is probably wise. But at least for short term, maybe from 9,000 to 10,000, you could probably catch a long position from 9 to 10. Low leverage long position from 9 to 10 probably will work itself out. But nonetheless, I've sold I've sold Bitcoin up here in this range. I'm more than happy to buy it back down here at about 8,400 to 8,650. If it comes down here, be more than happy to accumulate down there if the indicators tell me that it's wise to do that. You'll also notice that on the algo I've made some changes here recently where we have a red sell and a green buy, and then we have some yellow B and S indicators. So basically a mild buy and a mild sell indicator as opposed to a strong sell and a strong buy indicator. As you can see right here specifically, this was a perfect case where we had a a mild sell followed with a mild buy indicator after we had a strong buy. We haven't had a strong sell, so this would have been a good place to take some profit. I wouldn't have entered a long position here because the strong long entry was down here. When we were chopping up here, of course, we thought that there may have been a move up here to the upside. I was talking about that yesterday when the price was right around here, saying that I was short from up here and I was looking to get a long position, straddle a long position down a little ways. We didn't get down there, right? So actually when I was broadcasting, that's when we were hitting our lows, looking for that move to the upside, and we got it. So if we break above 9,500, right? So if we break above 9,500, and I guess just for a full disclosure, what I think is happening here, we're going to have a nice A, a B, and a C, and then we can see a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to see our move down, right? So I think that is potentially what's going to be in the cards, move up to 10K. But in the event that it doesn't happen, because a lot of our indicators are overbought right here, I'm going to go ahead and just sell, right? And if I see things take a while consolidating, right? So if we just, consolidate over here for a little ways, and that allows for this indicator to go down, that's when I will, and actually that's probably on the 3 hour, it's probably going to take a little while for that to move its way down. If that comes down here, then this is more than likely going to shoot up. So I'll gladly buy back in if this happens, right? If we just move sideways over here and this stochastic resets, I'll buy back in, no worries. But right now, my bias is bearish, right? But just because I have a bearish bias doesn't mean that I don't recognize that the price can't go up, right? Because I think it can, potentially up to 10,000. That would be our range expansion target to the upside, 10K, where we see that move down. I'm still targeting somewhere between 6,000 to 6,500. I've been talking about that for a while. I'm being patient, right? And I just sold a little bit of what I bought. We bought some alts also, and I believe it was right back here. We bought some alts, and we sold it, right around here, somewhere in this range. We sold the alts, moved up, moved down. But Bitcoin has moved up, but alts have pretty much just stayed sideways. Alts haven't really done a whole lot, which is showing a little bit of weakness from the alts. So Bitcoin dominance is probably, and let's just go ahead and take a look at dominance. I bet Bitcoin dominance is moving up. And it is, right? So alts prices are moving sideways, Bitcoin's prices are moving up, so Bitcoin dominance is also moving up as well. I think is from an Altseason perspective, because I think that's also something that people are interested in. Altseason, let me get rid of the algo here as it doesn't make any sense on a dominance chart. From Altseason, I mean, you can see Bitcoin dominance is really flying. Bitcoin dominance looks really good here. I'm going to remove all of these indicators because I've been keeping an eye on some things for quite some time. I think more than likely we're going to continue to get some rejection here, and then we're probably going to move down. This is when alts are going to finally start moving, but also Bitcoin could also be moving down at the same time. So just being careful for that, because I do think that that dominance is going to take continued move to the downside a bit here. What we can see, talking about dominance right here, moving this sideways, we can see that we have rejection. And let me find my little hammer. I know there's a nice little hammer icon that I like to use. So right there, move to the downside right here. So we've got some rejection on this level. We're approaching that level again. Are we going to get the hammer there and move to the downside? That's a good question. Obviously, our support level that we saw is going to be right here, going all the way back to this level. Okay, so we see that we've got a nice move to the upside, a nice retest right here. All right, let me just zoom in on this. and then we've got a nice retest right here. So this is our range, right? If we see this thing push up and out of this, Bitcoin's going to be moving big time more than likely. But if we see a push down on this and Bitcoin happens to stay steady in this range, then I think alts are going to have some significant upside. I think that would be really, really great to see this happen. If we were to take a look at this from a waves perspective, taking a look at the hourly, let's just take a look and see what this looks like. It looks like dominance does want to move to the downside as well. So it wouldn't surprise me for alts to see a nice move to the upside as well. So that's what I'm seeing here on this. Let's get back to Bitcoin and throw the algo back on there. I see Bitcoin's back down to 92.49. Let's also take a look at some of our moving averages. As you can see, I've just recently made some updates to the algo indicator where I've added some of those important moving averages that we pay attention to. So, if you like mean reversion, I would say we're probably going to come back down here to the 55 exponential. Right now it's at 9,015. Give it a couple hours, it's going to come back up to 9,050 or so. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to come back down here and test some of these important moving averages, as we have done numerous times over the last couple days. So just clustering here around the 55 and the 21 exponential. Of course, we do have a bullish cross right here on these, which indicates that the price is going to be trending up. And until we start trading below the 21 exponential, you do have to have a short-term bullish bias. But again, I'm looking bearish at least right now. So I'm kind of going against what I just said there, but I have a sense that we are probably going to be retreating on price back to retest some of these moving averages, in which case I'll look to maybe catch a small long position, but ultimately I'm mostly just going to be cashed out. I'm mostly going to be sitting just in tether. 92.50 is stubborn. Yeah, it is. We are fighting right here. This range is going to be an important range for future price action, because we're clustering up here just like we clustered over here for a few hours. That's back on the 29th and the 30th of April, and we're clustering up here again. I am seeing potential bearish divergence on higher time frames, which is interesting. But we're just going to have to see if we're actually going to see a reversal here. Again, I'm bearish unless unless we see a bounce off of these 21 exponential to 55 exponential. If we see a bounce off of these, then I think that we probably are going to see our prices going all the way back up to about 10,000. And then from there, I'll be looking to get into a pretty hefty short position at 10K. Probably going to set my orders at 10,000 through 10,050. Likely there will be a significant amount of resistance there. Maybe we'll finally see that move to the downside. But in the meantime, I have a small short position, and I'm mostly cashed out. I am in some alts. So that's just kind of where I'm at. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that video helped you maybe a little bit. I know there was a little bit of contradictory statements in there. Me saying that I am bearish, but at the same time saying that there could be a bullish outcome. But it's not going to hurt me if the price goes up. It's just going to be a lost opportunity. So not a real big deal for me. But if it did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And if you're not in our Discord, just throw in a comment here in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out for you. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.